Welcome to the Business Playground, where we discuss real business owners' stories and their tips and tricks with no filters. Welcome back to the Business Playground. This is your host, Jacob Odell, and today we have the honor of speaking with Cade. He is a cover artist and an NFT specialist, like he says he is.
Specialist, all right.
But he is an awesome guy, and we're going to listen to a little bit about his story, where he's been, what he's done, and all of his little life experiences along the way so that we can get some juicy information out of his mind.
How juicy can we get, though?
I mean, we can get pretty deep, man.
All right.
We can extract all the liquids we want.
All right, let's go.
All right. So
I got a cup.
So give us a little introduction about you, Cade.
Yeah, hey, so thank you again for having me. So a little bit about myself is I am from Sioux City, born and raised, and one thing about me is I've just kind of been here a whole long time, you know what I mean? And I went to high school at East High. I went to school at Western Iowa Tech Community College, and then from then I've just been, like I said, I moved to Omaha for a couple years, and once I moved to Omaha, had a couple jobs, moved around a little bit, and I've been traveling really ever since. And since I've been traveling, I moved back to Sioux City just to kind of keep my feet on the ground and stuff like that. And then, like I said, back in college at Western Iowa Tech is where I kind of realized I liked digital art. And then that's when I kind of got into cover art, and then now I am where I am today. And today I am a cover artist, album designer, album cover designer, graphic designer, illustrator. I do a whole bunch of different things under that realm, under that umbrella, which is really cool that I'm able to do that. And yeah, I mean, it started off because I've been doing art my whole life, and it just kind of built up to now. Like I said, it was my Photoshop class at Western Iowa Tech when I was like, oh my God, I can do digital art. And I was like, I didn't know, because I'd quit art. I'd stopped making art for like a year and a half or something after I graduated high school. I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to do that. So I just kind of like stopped, you know what I mean? And that was part of my identity growing up, was I'm the artist. People always talked about my art. People always talked about this. And I was like, I always had a sketchbook in class. I was that guy. Like on top of my textbooks in middle school and high school was a sketchbook, and I'd always be drawing, and like I'd always drawn all my assignments, all my assignment books, and all that stuff. Been drawing for so long. It was really cool to kind of come full circle, and I was going to do something completely different, but something just changed, and now I'm doing what I do, and I love it. It's amazing. It's everything I could have asked for, and more. And I'm only 23, so it's like, bring it on. You know what I mean? I know it's going to get harder. I know it's going to get even better. I'm ready for it, and I've got a lot to give. And then as far as like the NFTs and stuff goes, been in that for over a year and a half so far. Been in it a little while, or at least kind of in the sidelines, just kind of like watching and stuff like that, until I was ready to get in the mix. But yeah, no, I've made some amazing friends who have made life-changing money and stuff from NFTs, who have made beautiful, amazing projects and awesome artwork because of NFTs. And yeah, I really kind of done a lot. So
that's good. And you're a jack of all trades, which is what I like. Yeah. And just from having conversations with you, you can tell the passion that's in your voice and your heart, and that's amazing. And just, I've seen some of your work, and for the people that haven't seen your work, man, like this guy is freaking talented. We've spoken about, your drippy art, and that's really cool. I'd love to show some of that on the screen. Absolutely. As well. Yeah. And man, yeah, I love all the work that you've done. I've done my research on you a little bit, and I've seen it. And if you guys ever want to check him out, he's Pale and Red on Instagram. So he's got some really cool content on there. But yeah, so speaking on the cover art, so how did you take that leap into, being at WIT and people knowing you for art, and then boom, you're now in the music industry with art? Yeah,
so it all starts, this whole journey, I guess I could tie back to, and people have been telling me this for years, and it's something I've heard a lot, but it's who you know, it's not what you know. I've known that for years, even before I am where I am today. That's a great thing to kind of put a bookmark in right there. But the way I got started was I was starting to do digital art, and then I was doing graphic design, obviously. So when I figured out I could do digital art, I started doing it on my own a lot, and I stopped paying attention in class at WIT. And I would just start doing my digital art a lot, and then I would be working on my own stuff all the time. I did not like doing like the homework or the class assignments because they were too easy and they're boring, and I was just like, I'd rather do my own thing. And that's how I taught myself how to use the programs and stuff like that. And the classes wouldn't really teach me much. They would show me like, here's this new tool. And I was like, I already knew about that because I learned it on this YouTube video. And then, that's what I was going to drop out and everything. But anyway, what happened was I had a friend, he's like a brother to me, but he had a cousin that was making music. And his cousin, and if anybody knows, is Tay Groove. But he's like, yo, he needs like cover art and stuff like that. And this is like 4 years ago or something like that. And so he's like, I'm gonna get you connected. And then he got me connected. And then I started doing like $30 cover art for Tay, like a million years ago. And then slowly, like eventually, like I would, and I'm a kind of a networking genius with this stuff. I mean, I don't want to like self-proclaim that, but
no,
I kind of look.
So
like networking is it's like a web, right? That's what it is. It's a network, right? It's just there's 2 words for it: web, people web, or network. And I kind of like looked at like, okay, who's next that I can like work with and stuff like that. I wanted more experience, but B, I wanted to work with more people. Because I was starting to I really liked doing cover art designs. And when I was doing my portraits and stuff like that, I would always do, because I'd started an Instagram page for my design work and my illustrations, which it's still it is pale and red now, but it used to be Red Media for like a year and a half while I was in college. It was really corny, Red Media, woohoo. I made this really sick logo, super proud of too. But I needed to grow my Instagram. So a great way to do that on Instagram at the time, since the algorithm wasn't trash then, was to do what I consider clout artwork, which is like, I'm going to draw celebrities' heads all day. Like that's what I'm going to do. Like I'm like all these rappers and stuff like that. I'm going to do these sick illustrations of them. And then I'm going to post them. And then that's how I gain followers. And that's how people start reaching out to you and stuff like that. So I would do that on the side. And then, like I said, I would work with anybody local that I could and try to meet as many people as I could. And that's just kind of how that got started, locally at least. And then before I knew it, like I said, once I graduated, I moved to Omaha, and I kind of took that same thing with me. Like I had met, if you know Sifu Sensei, his name's Dao. I've become really good friends with him too. And like they would be talking about like who they knew in Omaha that I was making music, and I was like, yo, I'm about to move to Omaha. I'm writing this shit down. And then, so I was like, okay, I need to hit this guy up. I need to hit this guy up. Got to Omaha. I hit everybody up multiple times, probably annoyed the hell out of everybody. And I was like, I'm trying to get in the studio with you guys. Let's do cover art. And then over time it kind of happened, but it took a while. But in the meantime, that whole time I was always doing my art and trying to get better. Because what I've realized is like meeting people and being in front of people is like a very powerful asset to have. If you're not good at all at what you do, or you're not as good as you could be, like your chances of making connections are going to be a lot lower than, let's say, in fact, that, I am a charismatic and I will go talk to you kind of person, but I'm also really good at what I do. Now I can secure anything I want. Like it's like a power thing. So it was like, I knew that at the beginning that I needed to get better for people to take me seriously, especially being like, we could get talking to culture and stuff like that within hip hop and stuff like that. And I'm not really like, we could, but like I said, when it comes to taking people seriously, like sometimes like this super pasty white dude trying to make cover art, everybody's like, who the hell are you? Like, why are you here? Why are you in the studio? Like, did he come into the wrong place? I'm like, oh, I'm actually good at what I do. It's been that game the whole time. People trying to take me seriously and all that. And that's kind of where I got started. Like I said, I can draw that tree all the way back down to, going to WIT and, hanging out with my friend and him going, yeah, just work with him real quick. He'll get you started. And it's really cool that it ended up that way. Like I said, I think about it a lot, kind of like where it started and how far the roots really go. I could keep going back and back and back and back if I wanted to, but there might be some self-incriminating things I could talk about and I don't want to. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a really cool adventure so far to get where I'm at today. And like I said, here we are. So
yeah, and I'm happy to have you here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we never would have met. I mean, we met literally at a coffee shop, and literally from there kind of just took off listening to your story. Exactly the same thing. And I 100% believe that the more you know,
Yeah.
Or the more people you know.
And it's funny you say that because that's how I met Taylor. So we, Jacob and I had met through Taylor Grody. He does Honeywave Media. I've got a sticker on the back of my car. Shout out Honeywave. But and I've driven around the country with that thing. So no people have seen that Taylor in LA.
Production
Phoenix,
right there.
Everywhere, baby. I've got you. Anyway, but I was in the studio with them, and that's how I met Taylor. And I remember like there's just this dude here, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I was like, "What up?" And then we started talking, and then we became really good friends. Well, we're not like tight, we're not like best friends ever. We're friends, all right? We're friends. We're creative friends, and I think that means something. Yeah, and then like I said, I was at coffee. He I don't get to see him often. He said, "What's up?" We talked for a little while, and he's like, "Yo, I got this meeting with this guy from Morningside here in a little bit. I gotta go." I was like, "All right, bet." I said, "Say bye before you leave." And then he came back with Kelsey and you, and I had met you before, but I'd met Kelsey before, and I was like, why do I recognize this girl? And then I was like, oh my God. In college, I needed to get an internship, and I went to Chatterkick, and I DM'd her, and like, I said, hey, I'm coming to Chatterkick. I need an internship. So like, just know that I'm coming to talk to you. Cause I knew that like, I don't know what it is, what kind of warfare it is. It's not guerrilla warfare, but it's like the one where like, I'm just going to come straight and fast. Like I'm just pulling up, like, let's go. Like, you're not going to be ready for me type shit. And like, I pulled up, like I do everything. And I pulled up and I was like, yo, I want an internship. And she's like, yeah, no. I was like, oh, frick, bro. I was like, I got to go try something else. So I went to some chiropractor, got a terrible internship. It wasn't say terrible, just, it was boring. Yeah, it's just funny because that's how I, through all that, that's a direct correlation how I met you too. It was like that, a connection I'd made like 2 or 3 years ago, which is really cool. I think it's really fun to like think about those things. So
yeah, it's weird how the tree connects and all the lines.
Everything. That's what the network is for, bro. It's a forest.
It is. It's crazy. And, I'm realizing that now of like, whether it's a realtor I meet or a banker or somebody, like everybody knows someone that can benefit me somehow.
Everybody knows somebody. Everybody knows somebody. Yeah. Like I think I know, like I'm at the point now and I'm only 23. Like I know probably, I'm like one person away from probably like 2 billion people. Like, I don't know. I feel like I am, bro. Like, I feel like I am. Like, I'm one step close to some crazy ass people. And it's like, it's really cool to be like that fucking far away. Yeah. But like I said, that just shows like what's possible, because I started doing what I was doing at 19, and that's how old you are. And that's, 4 years ago, right? I'm 23. But like I started then, and it's just like, I didn't expect to get this far. And I'm always surprised by like all the new things that do happen, because I always think like nothing can, like I'm done, like you're not like I'm done doing things. I'm just like I feel like I'm at the top, like as far as I can go sometimes, you know what I mean? Like as far as what I'm doing, I got a lot more. That's just like anxiety, not maybe anxiety, but like self-doubt that's natural with this stuff. But like it happens, and then like I always get surprised, like, oh, this thing happened that with your artwork, and I'm like, bro, what? So and like that specific example was my art. I did some tour artwork for Wiz Khalifa and Logic, their 2022 Vinyl Verse tour, which is this year. Can't wait to go check that show out. It's gonna be so much fun. But I did the project and stuff like that, and then I remember like I was just down, bro. I was just it's a battle in my head all day long, every day, and like I was at this time I was kind of low. I get this text message on my phone randomly. Dude doesn't say a damn word. It's just an image, and it shows someone had taken a photo of one of the projector or one of the screens in Times Square, and like there's my artwork up there, bro. And I was like, what the hell? And like again, that was such a fucking amazing surprise, and that like I actually had a couple tears in my eyes for that, because I was like, bro, that was so cool. And like it meant a lot, because like I said, I was just feeling down about my like art and stuff like that, which is crazy because I shouldn't, and I realize that, but I can't help it. Like I think and I know that everybody deals with this, and I want to say that everybody deals with it, and it's important to kind of like really realize that, because everybody's human. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. I mean like these super uber famous celebrities and stuff like that, like those people, like for instance, like we're talking like Wiz Khalifa, like, and I don't know, every example you could think of, everybody deals with this shit. everybody does. Nobody's perfect. No, like nobody has it together. Not a single person does. Some people are a lot better at showing that they do than they actually do. And some of those people might be dealing with a lot more than you might think. And it's really important to realize that, because I think we, like, as a culture, can idolize those people. And like I'm guilty of that too. You know what I mean? Like I used to be like, oh my God, like all these, like, you know, this rapper's so sick, or like this actor's so cool and stuff like that. But then you realize, like, they're just like you and me. And like, if you actually sat down in a room with that and with them, you would know that they're not this big, like, godly idol that they seem to be. Like, they're really just a person. And then like you tie that back, like, it's nice when people like that can get to interact with people on a personal level, like actual people, instead of like super fan and God. Because they're like, bro, like, I'm just a dude and you're treating me like I'm not. Like, yeah. And like, I'm depressed too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have fears too. Like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think that. But yeah, tying that back, like, it's just a constant, like, to have your highs, you must have your lows. And there's definitely been plenty of those this year. You know what I mean? And there will continue to be. And I am ready to ride them fucking waves, baby. But it's just, you know, there's a lot I've learned, and I'm only 23, and I'm like, Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
You're an old man.
I feel like I'm 300, bro. Yeah. Like, let's go. Like, ask me how old I am.
How old are you?
309.
Wow.
That's right, baby.
Look at you go.
Let's go. I drink water. That's why I don't have wrinkles.
Oh, I got to start doing that then.
Yeah, everybody, if you're listening to this podcast right now, go ahead and take a moment and get you some spring water if you can. If you can't, any water's good, but we prefer spring water out here. And if you have a nice canteen or anything that isn't plastic, that's great. I'm not on that wave today, but if you are, you're good. So I had to throw that out there. Get hydrated, everybody.
Sponsorship included. No.
Wag me water.
Yeah. There you go. Definitely.
You don't wag me as, do you?
Nope.
We're all gonna make it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an NFT term.
Is it?
No. Yeah. Back when like it was a couple months ago. It was like a couple. We got these people. It was a big term, because like everybody's like, NFTs are the way for like creatives and artists to get out of the hole of like capitalism and shit. And I'm like, I don't throw that capitalism word out like I'm like a degenerate, like I'm like an anti-cap guy. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, it's pretty tight, but the government sucks. That's not it. But everybody's like, yo, NFTs are the way out, man. And we're all going to make it. We're all going to make it, because like a couple people are making several $1,000s. A couple people are making millions of dollars from NFTs, and it seemed easy and stuff. And like, to an extent, it's true. But really, it just showed like an alternative way for like creatives to build their own brand without like angel investors putting their grimy fingers in everything, or like, for instance, like record labels, like contracting people to death, like being like, we own all your shit and you're basically a slave to us for several years. So, which some people are cool with, you know what I mean? But, you know, if you're not good, if you flop at all, you're kind of screwed, especially what your contract says. It's important to read your contracts, everybody. Read your fucking contracts. But NFTs is really cool, because we're all like, yo, this is this new frontier. And then like we built this community, and like we were called the Wag Me Warriors for a little while. It was a bunch of me and my friends that I met from all over the place. What's really cool about NFTs is it can bring a lot of people together from a lot of different places. Like, that sounds like talk like I was playing video games right now. Like, oh my God, I'm playing Call of Duty with this guy from like freaking Wales, bro. And he sounds hilarious. Or I'm playing Minecraft with these dudes from Australia. He's up at the opposite sides, times than I am, whatever. No, it's not like that. It's like these people who are also artists is really sweet. So there's artists, poets, musicians and stuff like that. And they're all in this NFT space, and like, they're all trying to do the same thing, and some are good, some aren't, but they're getting better. But it's this really cool community, and everybody was there to help everybody, and everybody still is. Everybody's like, yo, I'll tell you like, NFTs are this new thing, and we were all on it before the news was picking it up and stuff like that. We were like, yo, this is going to be huge. We need to be on it now. And we also need to push the culture right now. Like, we need to make sure that like we're getting way more people into this, and we're giving more people a platform for this. So that way, when it does catch fire, that the right people are getting the heat. Like, we don't want, this is like NFTs is like a way to free people from like the shackles of like, oh, we need to buy from Nike all the time, or we need to buy from Adidas all the time, or we need to buy from here, we need to buy from there. It's like, no, you can buy directly from the artist and directly from the designer and actually support them. Because for like record labels and stuff like that, they've got a lot of money, they've got a lot of fucking power, they have all this, but they rely on creatives to do their things, and not in rely as in like if we went away, like they would crumble, because they would find a way. There's not a single person that's gonna really say no to that. Like there's always another person to fill that spot.
Yeah.
But like, you don't need that to survive. You don't need them to like make a living doing what you're doing. Like, you want to make music, you don't need a record label to make a living off of it. Go to NFTs. You want to make art and you don't want to like have to like sell your soul to galleries and like do all these weird deals and stuff like that all the time. NFTs can do it for you. But it's important to realize that like NFTs isn't just a way to just like screw off. I mean, you sure can, and you can screw off and do really well, but it's like this offers people a way to get a lot of money and to really like, and the type of money that you get from it is like that big investment capital that like labels might give you to like take off, but you can get that for yourself, and you're your own boss, and now you've got this investment material. So it's like, I've seen all these people creating all these amazing brands and stuff like that through NFTs and stuff like that. Like, they're using the money to sell like their stuff, but now they're creating like actual real world items, because everybody's like, NFTs aren't even real, bro. I can just like right click save that, be like, okay, I'm still making bands though, so like you keep talking like that, that's fun. But like, people are taking it to the real world because of this. People are paying off their college debt, people are buying new cars, people are buying this, people are doing that, and they're getting autonomy from this stuff, which is really awesome. And it's just the beginning though, which I don't know if people realize. It's like back when the internet was first starting, like when it was first starting, there's a couple people and like a couple thousand people that knew about it, you know what I mean, like in the 90s and stuff like that. And then now today, to see where it's at, that's where we're at. We're at that like in like 5 or 10 years, probably less than that, honestly. But like in that time, that's when this like blockchain stuff and NFT stuff's really gonna get cranking out. Like, hey man, I've got this item, this NFT item that can now transfer to this game that I play, or to this like metaverse social media platform. I can bring it here, and that's what it's gonna be for. It's the sky's the limit, but it still has to be built. It is being built. So, but yeah.
Huge NFT rent right there.
Woo!
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plant some trees if you're into NFTs.
Plant some trees.
Yeah, the Ethereum blockchain is not that great for the environment right now. Takes a lot of power to power that shit. So yeah, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. So, you know what I mean? Do your due diligence with the way that you live, everybody. ETH2 is on the way. Apparently it's supposed to be much better. So for the environment and blockchain handling. So
yeah. No, I'm not a huge deep dive into NFTs, at least not yet, but I've heard so many great things. I have buddies back home in LA, and they're all about NFTs. They're all about digital art and producing that. And then of course you have the other side of people actually using NFTs as an incentive and creating actual product or experiences, whether it's a concert or something else outside of that.
Absolutely.
Or meetups, VIP passes.
Oh yeah.
Like if you look at Coachella, if you had a certain NFT, like you totally got special access to a lot of things at Coachella. And that's where I see things going, is if you can offer something of value to other people, NFTs are a huge way.
Yeah, you just brushed on a thing called utility. And utility, it's a fancy word for people who say like, what does this do for me? So that's if you don't know what that means, that's what it means. What does this do for me? Certain, and like you said, certain ones like, oh yeah, like I own this NFT, so I get like a whitelist mint, like on a new project for this project. Like since I'm a holder, I get this. Or like Bored Ape Yacht Club, they're like, I feel like in my head they're kind of dying out a little bit as things kind of go along. They were just like the first great example of what's possible with this stuff. Even with terrible art, I said it.
Mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop. You can do much better. Anyway, but that to their credit, it wasn't supposed to be a multi-billion-dollar thing. Like they didn't expect that. In fact, it was so cheap. I remember I was on the landing page I could have minted one for like $300 back in May or way early March or no, it's February. It was like February, and I was on their page and I was like, man, I'm broke. I can't afford this. I don't even know. Like I kind of know what NFTs are, but this is like a year and a half ago. Man, if I would have spent that $300, bro, I'd have been one of those weirdos in Miami with a shaved head, looking like they're freaking ape. See, people did that.
Yeah.
People freaking did that. Yeah. No, but the utility is what can this do for me? And like for a specific, I'm not going to get too deep, but I am working on a big project right now. The craftsmanship I'm putting into this is crazy, but it's a lot. It's hard work. It's like sometimes it's like soul draining a little bit.
Is this for an NFT collection?
The art is intense, bro. It's great, but it's intense. Yes, but where it's kind of like I'm pairing with a music artist. So it's going to be like, it's me showcasing my art and my abilities and stuff like that in this world that we can create together. But then also it's for him and his music. So like he's got a brand, like he's got a great brand. Like he is all around great. Music's great. Stage presence great. He tours, he's been around, all that, but he's independent, right? And he doesn't have a label. He's been trying to get signed by a label. He knows the label he wants to get signed by, but like that's a hard freaking gig to get. So a long time ago, like I do his cover art because I met him at a concert one time, and a long time ago, it was a Bryce Vine concert. It was hilarious. Smoked a Bryce Vine. Let's go. Anyway, it was Bryce Vine concert, and then my friend was opening, right? And this guy was his opener. I'm just gonna say his name, Moonlander. His name's Moonlander, by the way. So Moonlander's opening for Bryce Vine, and then opening for all of them is my friend Isaac, because by Isaac Rocks now. And I'm backstage. I'm like, yo, I do cover art. Look at me drawing right now backstage at this concert. I'm a wizard. I'd bring everything because you know what I mean. Whatever can make people talk is cool. Course. You know what I mean. And whatever makes you seem the weirdest person in the room, do it. Just nothing weird. Like I said, be weird, but don't be weird. You know what I mean? That's what I meant.
There's a fine line.
There's
Gray
a fine
area.
line. There's a fine line. Like this mustache. Oh, I hit that. But. Yeah, no, I from there we started working and like, I did just cover art and I was like, well, I want to sell the cover art as NFTs because A, I want more money from this, but B, I was like, we might be able to add a little bit more of the experience to what it is that we're doing. So that's what we're going to do. And then eventually now we're working on this big NFT project. And the goal with this is like, it's make amazing artwork, but it's really to set him up for years and years and years to come. Like, we're going to get him like to the point where like you don't need like a label to give you all the money for everything. We got it. So production and stuff like that, music video, we can afford to do that ourselves and it's basically like we're going out of our way to get our own investment capital for our own business. And then we're going to take it from there. Hey, why not do festivals? Because we can afford to throw them and we know people that can help with these things. Why not give people, if you're a holder of this NFT, you get a backstage pass or you get a meet and greet before the show. Like you get that because of something you did before that. Hey, you're a holder. Okay, well, we got this other thing dropping right now. And if you are a holder, you're higher up on the list to be able to mint, and maybe other people aren't because they're not holders. So you get like a pre-access pass to that. You could keep and the thing with that is you can take that and you can take it in so many different directions. It's not just those things that I just mentioned. It's like, hey, you own this NFT, you're a holder. Okay, again, you get a free shirt, or Bored Ape Yacht Club. They actually have yachts. Somebody's got yachts. I don't know who the hell it is, but they've got business meetings. It's not even business meetings. It's like you get these weird access to these events and you get access to people you never thought you'd have access to. Imagine you got a Bored Ape, and then like a couple months ago, Bored Apes were like if you had one in the NFT community, you were just like a godsend. Like you were like, oh my God, this guy's an ape. Like, wow. But then what happened when like all these like A-list celebrities started getting them, like Jimmy Fallon and Wiz and all these people have them now, and Lil Baby. Like, oh my God, they've got them. Well, guess what? Now you have access to those people. You didn't think you did. Like, you never thought that I'd be able to talk to those people. Well, you might not. They might not pull up to a freaking party, but if they do, or let's say it's like Art Basel. I went to that. It's in Miami in December. Freaking amazing time. We can talk about that in a second. But like, when you go to those places and like if you're going to an NFT place and they've got like a Bored Ape meetup and it's a big event that people go to, like a lot of people go to, especially like an international art festival like that, like, oh shit, yeah, imagine you're there, you got an ape, and now like you're in the same room as these people. Like, okay, a lot of the apes and stuff are just some weirdos, some guys who have Cheetos on their bellies and stuff like that, like those type of people, definitely, like the basement dweller people. But then the other side of them is like your mega freaking rich, like rappers and musicians and TV hosts and stuff like that. And you'd have never had access to those people had you not have that. So really, the NFTs is like something I cannot put the genie's out of the bottle with it for sure, which is cool. It's not like AI or anything like where AI is going to take over the world. But like the possibilities with what you can do with NFTs are endless. Like if you want to create these real world experience for people and stuff like that, and this is like the ticket for it, like you can do it. And I'm really glad to be a part of it because I've seen how much change it's been able to bring to so many different people. It's gotten a lot of people out of the mud. It's gotten a lot of freaking people out of the mud. And it's also built amazing communities of people I've never have been able to meet in my life had it not been for this. And it'd be such a life-changing experience. I'm kind of ranting right now, but yeah, when I was talking about Basel, we'll reel back a little bit. Actually, let's put a pin in this because I got this is one of those roots that goes way back, and I got to kind of re-go it. All right, so we'll get back to that in a bit. Miami, Art Basel, remember that? Okay, cool.
Miami.
So when I moved to Omaha, I was doing art. And I worked at Qdoba for a little while, and I worked at Qdoba because I did have the job in Sioux City for a while. I knew the manager in Omaha, so I was like, that's an easy job to get. And I just moved here, and I don't want to get like a full-time job right now. I'm just cheesing right now. Let me just do some art, and because I got this really great apartment that I was only paying like $300 a month for. Me and my roommate together was like $600. So, but for me, it was $300. It was just freaking steal. So I didn't have to work that much to be able to afford that. So that gave me a lot of time to work on my art. So that's all I would do. I would spend money on art, or not spend money on art. I would spend time on art, and I'd go meet people. I'd go hang out. I'd go make friends. I'd go do all this, do all that, la la la. And I didn't have to work all the time, which was really good. Eventually, time passed by. We needed to move, and I needed money to afford anything else that was downtown. And I was like, I'm 20 and freaking broke, bro. So I made a resume, a really awesome resume, actually. It's pretty beautiful.
It does look really cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Never using that shit again.
Get rid of it.
I'm gonna burn it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll actually turn it into NFT someday. So hey, you guys want my thing?
That'd be really cool though.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Like a
you guys
resume
want
collection.
this?
Or you could probably do that with
Make a template.
other. Well, yeah, but like other musicians and stuff, like if they have their resumes from before they blew up,
that'd be lit,
dude. That'd be awesome.
You could do. That's exactly something you could do, and people pay stupid money for it. Yeah, honestly, yeah, man. But like I said, I was meeting a lot of people, and I'd met all these people that had worked for this. It's called New Style Development. It was in Omaha, and I remember I got a job there, and I was a leasing agent for a little while, and I was full time. It was a great job. I got 20 years old. I've got all these benefits. I'm getting paid well. Like I don't have to pay for my parking. Like it's huge underground parking. I felt like a freaking wizard.
You're so cool.
Let's go. And I felt great until like it started taking me away from my art a little bit, and it would take my energy away. And then I got a girlfriend, and then I was like, yeah, man, I don't have time for art really. I would still do it though. But like I just felt like my soul grinding down, and I felt like, and I also like remember, and this isn't too much. I've always been just a little bit better than the people around me, always. And if I'm not, it's not going to be that way very long. Like I'm going to work my way past you. Like this isn't an ego thing. I just need to be better. Like I need to know that I'm good, and I need to, well, and I wouldn't say it's to compete against people, it's to compete against myself. Like I need to get better too, and I need to be a killer. Plus there's a lot of value being the best in the room too. There just is. And I would just work at that. And I was like, man, like people are telling me I'm so good. People are telling me I'm the good, like all this. People telling me, and I haven't gotten anything, bro. People aren't even hitting me up. Nobody's buying commission. I got all these artists that I'm friends with that are getting commissions all the time. I'm not. Nobody's hiring me to buy my art. Well, people were, but like not very many, not enough to like do it full time at all. Like, and I was just like, man, when's this gonna freaking happen, man? When's this gonna happen? And then one day, it was December or maybe late November, and I get this DM from this guy, and he goes, hey man, I really like what you did here for this artwork. Tell me, what do you need to work? Do you need photos? Let me know what I can do to help. Or like, so that way I know what to get you when I need you. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? I looked at his page and I was like, this looks like a repost page of shit I've seen before. And I was like, I've seen all of this before. Why have I seen all this before? And I did deep dive, looked at all of his shit, and I was like, wait a minute. What I was looking at, for those of you who don't know, his name is Virgilio Tazaj, art director at Atlantic Records. And I was looking at all the cover art that he'd done over like the last like 10 years, and I've seen all of it. Like Gucci Mane, almost every Gucci Mane cover you've seen, V. Cardi B, V. Not all of it, but some of it, V. He does all the photo shoots and stuff like that. He gets all the stuff together. Free TC, Ty Dolla $ign, V. The one with the island cover art, V. V's a killer. That's what I'm telling you guys, all right? But V found me, and that changed my life. V changed my life because he, in the position that he is, and I'll talk about that later, about why I'm so grateful for some stuff like that and being in positions like that. But he got me on the project for Pooh Shiesty, and he's like, hey, man, so we've got this. He sent me the brief, and he's like, go ahead and look this over. How much do you want? We talked about it and stuff like that. And then I go, okay, here's my idea, here's this, that. Can I get $600? And he goes, what? He goes, I mean, I can get you 1,000, bro. And I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I can get $1,000 for artwork. Are you serious?
Just underpricing yourself.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, I don't want to overprice myself that he worked with somebody else, but I also want to underprice myself to fuck myself over. I still was fucked over. Not to his credit, but because I should have asked for more. Because it was a lot of freaking work in like 3 days, bro. And I stayed up for 36 hours straight to get that shit done. I did a 10-hour day at work, and then right after that I got home and I just started drawing. I pounded like 2 monsters, didn't sleep. I was delirious the next day. I went to the art store with my friend Autumn, and I was just on 10, bro. I was like I haven't slept in so long yet. I feel like a crack addict right now. I've got so much energy. This is not healthy.
Yeah.
But I got that done. It was some amazing work. And then, it'd be a couple weeks before it would drop and stuff like that. And we'd been hearing complications about things. Like I wasn't getting word back about the artwork, which I was super confident in the artwork too. I didn't get any word back, and then my friends went to one of my friends, him and his now wife. They moved to, or they didn't move, but they went to Fort Myers in Florida, and like I again was like, and just before that happened, actually, since I got paid for this project, I quit my job. Like this told me, I was like, I just made $1,000. That's more. That's like 2 months rent right there for me at the time. And like I was like, I did that on one project and I finally got in. I was like, now I have, and the thing for me is like I just got connected with the art director at Atlantic Records. I was like, he may see me as just another guy, like, because he's got a list of other creatives he can hit, but like I'm gonna capitalize on this. Like I'm gonna make sure that he knows me. So not only did I do amazing work, but I'm an annoying piece of shit. So I'm gonna hit you up, bro. But I didn't do it annoyingly. I was very strategic about it. Like I wouldn't like bomb his line all the time, but I might wait a couple of days or a couple of weeks and stuff like that and just check in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It'd be really nice, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, which to the extent it was genuine, but also to the extent, hey man, I'm trying to get something.
Yeah. Top of mind awareness, man.
It is what it is, you know what I mean? Like there's two sides to every fucking coin, man. Like you can't, like, some people are like, are they being nice because they're a nice person, or are they being nice because they want something from you? Probably both, bro, and that's not such a bad thing.
Yeah.
The symbiotic relationships are important in nature, all right? If it helps me and it helps you, who cares? Who cares? But yeah, no, like I would do that. I leveraged myself, and then again, I quit my job on the 31st or the 31st of December, so the last day of the freaking year, and I started on my own January 1st, 2021. All by my lonesome. But yeah, and then that night, New Year's, is where I met my best friend Isaac, and that's kind of also like, this is a very like life-changing shit here. Like I said, I quit my job, I got hooked up with the freaking record label. I'm not signed or anything like that. I'm just a contracted artist, and I'm amazing at what I do. So this is why they hit me up all the time. So let's go. But he hit me, and which was great. And then that day at New Year's, we went to this New Year's party. I'm in this bathroom. At the time, I had eyeliner on, not like the way you think. I had dots under my eyes. Mm-hmm. I had my fingernails painted black. I had all my chains and everything on. Like I was just like, I was just irradiating. This guy's freaking different, bro. Like, weird. I was like, yeah, I like it.
Good weird.
Good weird.
There you go.
Good weird. Yeah, get a little wink there. Yep. And I'm in the bathroom. I'm washing my hands, and this guy to my left goes, "You look cool." I looked at him, and this guy's got his fingernails painted, but his were a little different. He's got a big fat gold chain on. He's got his hair's in braids, and he's got this Balenciaga this on. He's got like all this crap on. Like, and me, I'm like, it's all designer, and I don't care about designer. I just don't. I'm like, just give me some Converse or some Vans, bro. I'm straight, dude. Like, I'm not spending that much money on shit I'm gonna wear all the time. And anyway, I was like, you look cool, and then we became best friends to this day. We're still homies, but from there, like. That's Isaac, and if you remember now, this NFT project I'm working on all started because I became friends with him, and then he had to open for this concert, and of course I was there. And that's where I met Moon, and that's where that stuff took off. Like I didn't expect that to happen. But yeah, like for there, it just went, and we're gonna go back to the Pooh Shiesty project. I said, I quit my job. I met Isaac, whatever. Now it's like January 3rd or something, or January. It might even be, it's like January 4th or something. That's my birthday, by the way. It was like one of those days where I was home and I was like, you know what? My friends are in Florida right now, and I'm just going to go buy a plane ticket because now I don't have a job and I can do whatever the fuck I want, although I don't really have money. So let's go. I bought the plane tickets, looked at my bank account. I have $100 left, and I was like, what the hell did I just do? I didn't even look at my bank account before I bought that shit. But I guess we're going to Florida. Let's go. So after that Pooh Shiesty thing dropped, I had I didn't reel back because it hadn't happened yet. Get to Florida. Fast forward, now we're in Key West, zooming around, and I look at my Instagram page, and Pooh Shiesty posted cover art for his new album. It wasn't my artwork, and I was like, what happened? I was like, I didn't know anybody else was working on this. What happened? Anyway, the guy who got it was this kid named Wahid Hamadzai, and he is from Afghanistan. And this guy's story is amazing, and I'm super glad that he's the one who got this. Because he rode that wave for that Pooh Shiesty thing so well. And that's how we met, though, was because on Clubhouse, this guy was hosting his Cover Art Matters, Matt, but Cover Art Matters. He's the guy who does the hard work for cover artists. And he basically, when people drop all these cover artists, like artists and designers never get credit where it's due. People don't tag us. People don't talk about us. People hardly credit us. Like whenever we do these crazy shit, like we're forgotten about. We're just these tools.
Yeah.
Matt goes and does the research to find out who did it, and he posts it. He's got like 40, 50,000 followers on Cover Art Matters or whatever, on maybe not that much, I don't remember, but it's a lot. And it's great because that's how I was discovered by V, because he'd posted my artwork because he really liked it. Like, yo, he's an album designer and stuff like that. So Matt, if you're listening to this, bro, you're amazing. But yeah, he hosted this Clubhouse thing where he interviewed both Wahid and I about the cover we did for Pooh Shiesty, because I did my cover and it didn't get used, but his cover got selected. That's how Wahid and I met. And then Wahid just kind of blew up from there. Like, people were fucking with him super heavy after that. And he was just like, by the time I think Supreme commissioned him for something immediately after that. Like, he's doing all these collabs with all these brands and stuff like that. And then eventually he would do his NFT project. When he got a team assembled for Smilesverse, I'm a holder, what up? And he took that, and this is when NFT was like just before starting to pick up steam. But if you were in the community, this shit was hot. And he built this, he created like a community. Like, the Smiles community is amazing. And like, that's how I met some of my like best friends. And it was all online. It was all Twitter spaces. It was just, we're just these nerds just on Twitter, bro, talking all day long, you know what I mean? Day and night, but we're all artists. And we would talk about everything every single day till like 5 a.m. for months. And we would just do that. And like, this is like a couple months back, by the way. We're fast forwarding hella hard. And then like, we are all like, oh yeah, like Art Basel's coming up. Who's all going? And then like half the people were like, dude, we're all going to be there. Let's all meet for the first time. And I was like, and I had a couple months back, I'd actually met Wahid. Like, he lives in Minneapolis. And I remember I was like 2 hours away. So I was like, yo, I FaceTimed him. He's like, what's up? And I was like, I'm coming to your city. Have a glass of water ready for me. He's like, all right, bet. And then we hung out. Spring water. And we had this amazing talk. Like, he'd he showed me conversations he had with some of the like craziest people ever, and I'm like, bro, but I had to be like, yo, keep your head on straight, bro.
Yeah.
You're good. You're gonna do this. All this stuff. Great meeting with the man. I miss that guy. I'll see him again in New York in a couple weeks. Let's go. But yeah, this community that he built, became some amazing friends, and we went to Miami for Art Basel, and I met everybody. Had an amazing time. Went on a bender in South Beach. Let's go. Went crazy, partied it up like you're supposed to. And then also did real good stuff, like made art and shook hands like you're supposed to do. Made some memories. Like, it was such a beautiful time that I can only attribute to being part of an NFT community. And again, and that's why to tie that back to those roots about like how like me getting that like one job at Atlantic like somehow turned into this, you know what I mean? And I'm still working with Atlantic now, but other labels now too. Like it was just Atlantic for the longest time, and it's my main one. But now I've worked with like Epic Records, Asylum Records, and then all these other sub records and labels and stuff like that. And it's really cool to have gotten that far. And like by the end of the year, I'll probably work with like it's shit. If anybody from Interscope wants to hit me up, let me know. If you know what I mean, Columbia, what up? Like, yeah. But like it's super cool to like see how far things can go, and like how like if you just ride something super hard and you just like keep going, and you just keep trying to get better, like something's gonna come for you. It's not gonna be exactly what it is. I'm gonna tie that back. You can look at other people and their journey. Your journey will never go the way that theirs went. It never will. But yours can go like it. You can have these super hard situations that happen to you. You can have these challenges in front of you. You can have this. You can have that. It's what you do with those situations that really are going to take you everywhere, and that faith that you have in yourself, that things are going to work out. But you got to put the work in. And I've always noticed that like it's the work that you put in is what you're going to see coming out. So if you ain't seeing much coming out, put more in. Just do it. And some people see it quicker than others, and some people it takes a little while to see it, but put it in. So for me, it was doing artwork and shaking hands and going into all these random ass studios and all these different, meeting all these random people and trying to, and like getting to know as many people as I possibly could. And getting my work out as many places as I possibly could. Like it was doing all of that, and like now I'm here, and it's just like I'm not done. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep going all these weird places and saying hello to all these weird people and being like, hey, how are you? Have you drank water recently? Like
that's your thing, man.
That's
water.
My thing, bro, and I love it. And you'd be surprised, like with water, it's like people don't be drinking it like that, bro. Yeah. Like some people would be like, I haven't had water all day. I'm like,
you got some on you, bro?
I got some, brother. Yeah, right here. But like seriously, like, and then you get those weirdos who are like, I just drink beer, I don't drink water. I'm like, you are sus, bro. Like, grow up, drink water, and then drink your freaking beer. Your body's gonna hate you. But anyway, it's just really cool to like see all that. And then when I get a chance to, like, that's why it was really cool meeting you, is like whenever I see someone who's younger than me, who's on like a similar path or doing something that's similar to me, or like or taking a bet on themselves, like I'm always like, I make it a point to be there and tell them they can do it. Like I make a point to tell them everything I freaking know about everything. Yeah. Like if you got any questions for me, I answer them to the depths of my knowledge. Like I'm giving you everything I know, because like I think it's important to do those things. We say like I don't know if you're a godly person, maybe not you particularly, but people. What's this thing called tithing that people do? Now, I am not a religious man. I've got my own, like, I've got my own idea of everything and stuff like that. I don't subscribe to everything because I don't think it's accurate or whatever. It's not important though. But I did go to church for like 2.5 years, like the last 2 years when I lived in Omaha. Thought it was great. You know what I mean? Like I thought if I'm a spiritual or if I'm an open-minded person, I should be able to sit in a church thing and actually sit through it and get something from it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, I don't need to be whatever. But what is tithing? Tithing it's a faithful act of giving money to the church or whatever, and it's supposed to do stuff within God's will, right? But you're supposed to notice life-changing differences with these things called tithing, which I'm like, so you're paying for a better life. That's what you're saying. Whatever, it works. Cool. Sure. Anyway, so but what I figured was like you can give money or you can give you. You can give, what are other valuable assets that I can give to other people or to places that will help, that may help me? Information is one of the biggest, most valuable like commodities that we can give to another person in our lives, and give it. Knowledge should not be kept away from everybody. It should not. Give what you know, tell people what you know, and help people become better and help people get farther. Like, do that. And that's like those little investments that I have with other people. And I think that other people should do is like, it's help other people out, whether it's money, whether it's information, whether it's time. Like, hey, let me help you move into your house or something. Like, let me carry this for you. Let me do this for you. All those things, if you can just do them, I promise you they're going to make your life a little bit better. It doesn't mean you're going to, like, just because I open the door for this old lady that, like, I'm going to get signed for, like, $10 million with a record label. No, that's not what I mean. But, like, that means that you might get a free burrito at Chipotle because they made an extra one or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it could mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the stuff you don't see will happen.
The stuff you don't see might happen. Yeah. And it's just, like, put that good stuff out there and something's going to come.
The good juju.
Yeah. Now, but imagine you take that and you direct it a little bit more where like, hey, I'm looking out for people in the industry, right? So like as an artist, like let's say somebody just is in a super down bad or whatever, and they really need this, and like I'm in a position I can help, and like I don't need to do this service I can do it for free and just give it to them and be like, yo, do your best with this, please, like whatever. Like you do that, like in my head, I feel like the universe is going to pay me back for those things. Like, and again, you know, some people might sit back and be like, should you be doing good just because you think you're going to get paid back for it? No, sorry, I yelled into there, but no, but yes, at the same time, like, Of course I'm going to do good because it's good, but I'm also going to do good because good might come right back around to me. Yeah. Let's go. What comes around goes around. Right.
Yeah.
And that's important. And like, I'm also and with that same thing in mind, I'm also very onto that with negativity as well. Like, I'm very mindful of the negativity that I put into the world. I'm very mindful of my reactions and stuff like that, because if I let it go or if I go too hard, I'm like, oh, I just put some negative vibrations into the world. And if I think good stuff comes back, well, guess what? So does that negative stuff. That shit comes right back too. So I try not to. And it's been one of those things, it's been a struggle for a long time. Like, I'm great at it now, but when I was younger, it was just like, you know, like I was kind of negative all the time, you know, like, and it came from shit. I got bullied like a freaking madman when I was in middle school, a little bit of high school, but I was bigger than everybody, and, you know, I beat some ass, so nobody fucked with me anymore.
Good man.
But what happened was, like, I kind of took that, and I took that resentment that I felt other people had towards me, and I started giving that out to everybody. And I would judge people. I would do this, and I would do that. Like, yeah, you're gross, you're this, you're that, because that's how people saw me. And I was like, that's how I'm seeing everybody else. And like, that's such a terrible place to be. And again, it's that negativity. Like, and then it's easy to be a hater too. Like, the hater mindset's such an easy one to fall into. It's jealousy. It's insecurity. It's what it is. So whenever I saw successful people getting that success, you know what I mean? I remember back in the day, I'd be like, bro, Rick Ross sucks, bro. And my best friend would be like, do you know what he has that you don't? I was like, don't fucking say it. Don't say it. He's like, he's got money. You don't.
Yeah.
Who cares if he's bad? And I was like, you asshole. But I was like, you're right. You're right. I was like, because... And people see that, like, they'll talk crap about anybody, and I used to be that guy, like, where it was like, oh, this guy did this, but this is what he did to get it. Like, so when you try to cut things down and make yourself feel taller, like, you're just making the field shorter, bro. Like, and it's not, it's just for you though. Like, nobody sees that usually, but that stuff's just gonna make your life worse. And also, like, I have this theory that, so the law of attraction is not my theory, but it is a very popular theory, but mine on the same topic. I have my own little thought about it. So law of attraction is like, I think about this thing, and it comes to me. I act in this way. It comes to me. I speak in this way. It comes to me. I attract what I
manifestation.
It's manifestation, right?
Yep.
You can, if you downplay or talk down upon / trash the idea of someone doing something successfully, you are tying negative connotations to success. So, specifically here in the city, I'm not going to get into it, but people get I don't really like deal with Sioux City that much because people really have such a negative attitude here. People remember too much about people remember people's past too much and hold it against them still to this day. And like, and people have talked a long time, like if you're going to be famous, like the hardest place to be famous is the city you came from, because everybody knows you and they're the last people that you can win over. Right. That's exactly,
that makes sense.
And that's how it goes. Cause they're like, I know you, I know where you came from. You were not that. It's like, no, I grew though. And I'm a new person. And like, you know, but people will get mad at people for making better moves for themselves. Like if you can't take the fact that somebody like spent a lot of money on this awesome video, this music video, right? And this is their first project out. They're spending all this money on this shit and you're mad at them for that. Yo, that's not your money that you spent. That is not your video that you spent. You need to stop, because you need to be like, yo, I'm so glad that you did spend all this money, because now your video is amazing. Your work is now able to shine even brighter because you got this great shit behind it. And that's what you should be excited about. You shouldn't be not excited about that. You shouldn't downplay that, because now like you're putting that negativity towards those great moves, and now you're probably not going to be making those moves yourself, or now you're going to do it, but you're not going to do it right because you've put bad energy into the air, and you're going to get aligned with not great things that are they're just not going to suit you. That's just really what I believe. So who cares what other people are doing with their money? Who cares what other people are doing with their time? Who cares if they're doing better for themselves? You need to look at that, and you need to look at that as a positive, and you must. And then, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere, and you know what I mean? You're just going to look corny, and nobody wants to look corny. I know everybody's going to be like, who cares what other people think about you? Well, we're humans. We care. That is literally the whole point, like, of emotions and shit. It's like, wow, like, you know why people get mad or scared of public speaking? Because if you had to publicly speak in a tribe back in the day, you're probably trying to defend yourself not to get spiked for something you did. They're about to freaking light your ass on fire because you like stole some grapes or something like that. They're like, defend yourself, and you're like, like, yeah, that's legit, right? But with this, like, I've just noticed it's really important to like just, you know, be positive when you can. And I know people get mad at like the toxic positivity and stuff like that. And it's important to know that there's really no such thing as toxic positivity, although there kind of am. I say it's just more optimism than anything. Like it's very okay to be an optimist. In fact, I like to live as an optimist. I'd rather live thinking things are going to be better than they are now than the opposite. Because if they're going to be opposite, then what the hell is the point in trying right now? You know what I mean? If the world's going to burn up and it's going to be gross and smoky and blah blah blah, it's going to look like some freaking Blade Runner shit, then like, do I really want to be here contributing? Not really. But if I think we're going to pull this around, we're going to have a life in different planets and shit like that, like wow, I'm going to freaking participate, bro. I want to be a part of that. I want to teach. I want to cultivate a great culture, you know what I mean, that like can like bear that. You know, it's important, that positive mindset. And then to tie that one back again, it's like, I think everybody can benefit from this, but it's when like you have like these negative things that happen. I think you've probably had negative thoughts every day.
Everybody has them.
Everybody's got them.
You're not alone.
Exactly. But when you do have those, it's important to catch yourself. Because sometimes we get in this loop and we start talking negatively in our heads, and then we just go, and we're going for weeks, man. We didn't even realize that we're talking shit to everybody in our head, or we're talking shit about ourselves, or we're doing whatever in our mind, and that's so bad. But what's important is to know that you can get out of that. It takes a little bit of time depending on how deep in you are, and chances are you're probably going to come back. We operate in waves, baby. We go up, we go down, we go up again, we go down again. That keeps going. But if I ever find myself in a spot where I might be like getting ready to talk like gossip about somebody, I always catch myself. Gossip's not cool, especially if it's personal. You don't know personal shots. But if I'm saying negative things about things, I'm gonna move this up a little bit. If I'm saying negative things about any given thing and I catch myself doing it, immediately put the positivity Band-Aid over that, which means that like, man, that shit looks old and terrible, right? That's a negative, right? I'm talking about the soundboard to his left. This is just an example. Normally when we talk about these things, we're talking about people. So, but we go, wow, that soundboard's old. It's this, that, and that. Or I could say, damn, bro, that soundboard, it looks old and it's still kicking. It's still working beautifully, bro. I wonder how many people have made awesome things with this thing. Right. You see how easy that was? And sometimes you do got to be a little bit corny about it. Like you really do, but it helps. I promise it helps. And like it's always good to overcompensate the bad with the good. It's always better to do that. And plus, because like I said, like imagine I said 5 negative things today, but I said like 6 things today that were like 1.5 times better than what I said earlier. It's like I'm close to doubling that. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good thing to do, I think. And it's just, and like I said, I think this positivity role that you can play with your mind, this positivity thing, it really will play into the rest of your life. Like it'll play into the people that you know, the relationship that you have, be more loving to people and stuff like that. But it'll also play into, like I said, like our aspirational goals and stuff like that. Like the universe would be like, we're more receiving to great things, so it will come to me. So imagine I'm focused on the bad stuff. Hey, universe is like, you must really like bad things. So you know what? I got a lot of bad shit over here for you. So if you want it, I got it for you. Here you go. And you're like, what? Why? It's because you live in that world, bro. Yeah. So don't be. You want to live in a freaking world full of bats, or you want to live in a world full of seagulls barking at you? Okay, I kind of want to live in the bat world, but like, you know,
that'd be kind of cool.
That can be kind of lit. You know what I mean? Just, you know, red lightning strikes behind me, and a freaking swarm of bats flies up behind me.
Talking about Stranger Things? What you doing, man?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
I just finished it.
So
we can talk about that too.
I know, bro. We can't spoil anything for anybody.
Oh,
I don't want to do that, but like, we could do a little spoiler alert, but then we lose people. No, we're not going to do that.
All you need to know: red bats.
Red fucking bats. It's freaking bats.
Yeah,
dude. That show. I'm not gonna get into details, but like, oh my god. I remember the first episode. I watched it. This is my 3rd time watching the first episode yesterday. I was not. Yeah, I'm crazy. I love Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. Like it might be probably one of my top 5 shows. Like I love Witcher. The Witcher's great. Love it. And I love Stranger Things because like I've always like for some reason really liked shit from the 80s. Like just loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, if I could have lived then, bro, it would have been kind of lit. 80s would have been sick. I felt like music, bro, like the freaking synth. Bring it up, bro. But like the whole thing. Also, like if you've seen my art before, like this shit is just like right up my alley, bro. Like I was like, wow, this shit looks just like my art. Wow, crazy.
It does.
I was just thinking about that.
It's crazy. Yeah, no. When I was watching it, I was thinking like, this looks like Cade's artwork,
dude. I know. I was like, and that's the thing. I started doing this red stuff. I don't know. So if you watch Stranger Things, you'll notice like this isn't really a spoiler, so grow up. But like in the Upside Down, there's like it's dark and whatever, but like they have things where like when it lightnings and stuff, it's like red. Like the atmosphere gets red, and then like you know Vecna's realm is red. You'll find out who Vecna is. But like that, like with my artwork was just like I like this like smoky-ish, like it's like I like a red background that's kind of like is this hell? Not really, it's not hell, but it's kind of like this. It's
upside down.
It's upside down, really, honestly, yeah. Screw it. But it's like this, like I really like the color I use. It's like I want this like thick like feeling that you're in there, like it's like smoky and choky in there, but it's red and there's really nothing behind you. It's just you're just there.
It's you.
It's yeah. Exactly. But like, it is. And it's just like, and this is what I like. And then, like I said, watching the show, I was like, oh. And then like I got mad inspiration because I was like, the red lightning. I didn't even think about the red lightning. I was like, and then like, in the portal. Oh my God, the portal.
Yeah.
Like crazy, bro. And I was like, this is shit I've done, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I should see if I can talk to
You should.
And go, hey, do you guys, oh, they're done after the next season though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
there's a part 2 coming out.
Yeah, I know. It's probably too damn late to be like, hey, you guys need artwork? You guys need any designers on the team that can do some sick artwork for Stranger Things? Let me know. Too late for that one. But if it's not, I'm going to speak that into existence. Universe, bring it to me. If there's still an opportunity, thank you. I will take it.
Yeah.
Cool. It's out there, everybody. Also, I just did something called praying to the universe. Some of you guys pray to God, Allah, Yahweh, Spaghetti Monster, whatever you pray to, that's cool, everybody. But I just wanted everybody to know that prayers and manifestations are quite the same thing. Just so you know. So if you're thinking, man, if you're one of those Christianese guys, that's what you speak, Christianese. Yeah, man. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm speaking directly about my roommate at the time. And when I lived in Omaha, he was going to be a pastor. And I'd be like, he's like, ooh, do you want to go manifest a BMW outside? I was like, That's not how it works, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, go pray to God for BMW to hop outside. What's going to happen? Same freaking thing, bro. So if you're having trouble figuring out how manifestation works, it's just like prayers. And if you're having trouble figuring out what prayers are like, it's just like manifestations. Same freaking thing, man.
Yeah.
Hey, God, I need strength in these trying times. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's up to you, my man. You know what I mean? It's really cool to like tie that one back. But yeah, anyway, going back to Stranger Things, bro. When I saw that at the end of the first episode, when they showed, I'm gonna spare some details about how they kill people because people die. Don't get out of here thinking like people don't die in Stranger Things.
It's not pleasant.
It's not, and that's why I loved it. I was like, oh my God,
I've never seen something like that,
dude.
And that was like very graphic.
I know,
too.
And I was like, yes, bro, I love that shit. Not like in a weird obsessive way, but like, again, with my art. When I do my dark art, there's a reason I do what I do is because it strikes people. It's like nobody sees this shit because people are normally afraid of it or super religious. Like, this is some satanic stuff. And I'm like, it's really not. I didn't even think about Satan one time when I do this. So get out of here with that shit. This shit's just wicked, bro. Because it's shit you're not used to seeing. It's creepy. And it's unsettling, and it makes you question things because it's like, when are you exposed to these things? It's something we run from, but it's something that like in nature, like I had this art show, I made this quote, and I say like the truth is in the darkness. That's like my quote. Like the truth is in the darkness. Like it's like when you find yourself in these dark moments and stuff like that, be still, the answer will come. Again, when you're in the dark, that's when the light shines the brightest because it has to compete with no other light. So it's easy to find it, right? But you just got to be still, right? Anyway, bring that back to this art. And I was just like, when there's life, what is true with life? What comes after life?
Death.
That's right. Everybody's got that in common.
Yeah. You
could have really awesome hair. You could be bald. You could be really fat, or you could be really skinny, or you could be really jacked, or whatever. You could be black. You could be white. You can be whatever you are. You can be whatever you want to be. If you want to be something in between, if you want to be a wolf and say a woo to the moon at night, cool. But guess what? You're going to die. But nah, you're not going to die right away. It is dark. But that's not. It doesn't have to be. But again, that's a fact that people are so afraid of sometimes.
You're going to die.
You are going to die. Some people die quicker than others. Some people die tomorrow. Some people die in 75 years. And there's going to be people dying, believe it or not, in probably a couple million years, bro. People just like me and you, dying. They do it. That's just what we do. We live and we die. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's just what happens. We all know this. So why are we afraid of it? No, what happens after death? You're thinking too far, my man. Yeah. I meant, what happens to your body? See, look at you going. See, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's natural. So imagine a tree falls over, it's going to decompose over time. Now, a tree decomposing doesn't look as gnarly as a freaking human would it?
Right.
No. If you've been around that stuff, it's creepy and gross, but it's natural. It's not like this shit's like some demonic crap going on. Like, why is his body bloating? Why is he purple? Why is he... It's like, okay, or why am I talking about he? It's like, what about the animals that die? Like, what happens? Why are you so afraid of that? Like, I know it's creepiness and settling. Don't freaking touch it. That's gross. But like, it's like, what you got to think alternative. Like, what does this do? Okay, so if there's a body on the ground, it decomposes. All these different processes are taking place, and all these different organisms are now getting life through this. That it's actually a good thing, and that's the point. Like, we live, we consume, we use, we die, and then other things, they live, they consume us or whatever is dead or whatever. Like, we've got like our mushrooms and our little rodents and stuff that like to go eat things, our little scavengers and stuff like that, and then like we dissolve into the ground over time, and then now the trees can eat. But like, it's not that scary because it's real, and it's what happens every day, every single day, and it has been since long before us, and this is how it's going to be long after us. Like, why are we afraid of that? That's why I make art like that, because it's freaky and it's scary, but it's really not that bad. Like, if you really actually looked at it, and me saying that, like, That's what I'm telling you, that it actually is quite a beautiful thing. It doesn't look beautiful.
It is.
It's not. It doesn't look. I mean, I'm not gonna say it looks like, wow. See that beautiful rose over there? Then you see that body. They look quite the same. No, they don't. All right, they don't. I know that it's a little freaky. Oh. But what I'm saying is, you got to understand the beauty behind it, that it can be. You just have to see it for that. And a lot of the times, I would say that like the way we might see other humans and stuff like that is quite the same way as we would see a fucking body, bro. Like, some people just don't look approachable. Some people look creepy. Some people look scary. We might have these preconceived notions. Yeah, you racists out there, or you this, you that. If you don't like other people based on what they look like or what they like on the outside, then like, you know, you're not supposed to judge a book by the cover, and that's what people are programmed to do. That's just what we're programmed to do. But it's like one of those things, if you just looked a little bit longer and you gave yourself that moment to look at this just a little bit longer, you might find something beautiful within it. Yeah. You might find something important in it.
Or even just ask the person a question.
Ask the person
Get to know
fucking question. Like, it's that. So when I make like an art piece of some like woman with her face like falling off and she's freaking out. So it's called Unbecoming is this piece that I did, right? There's this woman and she's old and stuff, but she's decaying and you can see like the light in her eyes is kind of dying. Like, it's horror art, right? But like, you could look at that and you're like, oh, satanic or whatever, and be like, no, it's just, she's just dying really fast. Like, imagine like a spell. Like, let's say we're playing D&D or something, or we're playing some game where someone like doesn't, what are those movies where people like, you know, I'm talking, people age in like 5 seconds. They eat something or do something, and then immediately like they go from like 25 years old to like dust in like the matter of 30 seconds, bro. Like that type of vibe, right? Mm-hmm. That's not crazy, bro. That's just cool. Like, wow, what did she do to get, what did she eat an apple that she wasn't supposed to eat? Did she get a spell cast upon her? Like, what happened? Or is she like that Dorian Gray? Like, do you know who that is? He's the guy, Dorian Gray, the man in the painting. I don't know if that's the name of it, but Dorian Gray is a story about this dude. I don't know where it takes place, but long story short, he's eternally young, right? But he's got this painting locked away in a secret place, and it's a painting of him. And if you look at that painting, that's the real him. So it's really old and wrinkly and gross, and like, but his painting is the one that ages. His soul is in the painting, but he can live out. But if someone were to destroy that painting, he dies.
So that's why he locks it away.
It away, so nobody can see it. But it's like one of those things. It's like, you wouldn't think that it's like that foreign. It's just like I said, like this dark stuff that people take. It's like, it's not that freaking dark, bro. Like, it really isn't. Like, the people, like, there's just some creepy stuff, and like, I get it. People want to be scared of scary things. It's why it's scary, because it's supposed to scare you and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean it's gonna like hurt you or it's gonna haunt you or anything like that. It's just one of those things. You just gotta like look at some things a little bit longer, and then you will find the beauty within it, or you'll find the inspiration within it, or you'll find this. You'll find, like, I promise you, like, there's more to see the longer you look. There's not a lot to see when you look away really quick.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's just how I kind of see everything. And again, like, I'll take that same philosophy, I'm going to plug it into myself and say, am I 100% on that all day long, every day? No. I look at some people sometimes, but I'm like, Jesus. Or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Or some people probably look at me and go, Jesus. Like, I've seen it, bro. Like, I've got earrings in the middle of Iowa. Like, if I go to LA, that's normal. Fucking normal.
Yeah,
like,
your outfit right now, that's normal.
That's normal.
Where I'm from.
Like, normal. And then, like, right? And then, but then I come here and everybody's like, what the hell is this guy on? I'm like, dog, it's called drip.
Drip or drown, bro.
Y'all are drowning. I'm swimming, baby. But like, you know, it's that. It's like perspectives. Well, boom, there it is. Perspective. Yeah. That's all it really is at the end of the day. Like, if you're not seeing things right, if you're afraid of something, or if you're stuck doing something, I promise you, just change. If do what you can to change your perspective on it, and I promise you, you're gonna go, oh, like, you could talk about like a girl not talking to you or something like that. You could be like, man, she's probably talking to like 6 other dudes, like, blah. Be like, nah, she's just at work, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that perspective change. And that took all your fear away, my man. You were thinking about the bad. You could have been thinking about the good. And guess what? She could be talking to 6 other dudes, but you don't need to know that.
Yeah.
And you don't need to think about it.
And maybe it's probably better off that she is and you don't need her.
Maybe. And you know what? Look at there. Or, yeah. And do you really need to be thinking about that? Does that shit really need to steal your peace? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't need to steal your peace.
Go do you, man.
Go do you. Change your perspective, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I want to go on back and talk on that. Like, remember, preserve your peace, everybody. If thinking about something or finding out something is going to steal your peace and it's not going to like, it's not for the betterment of your soul to know certain things, then don't, just stop digging, bro. But if you're like me, I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to torture my fucking self. I'm going to go, oh, that hurt really bad. I don't know why I looked at that, but I did it anyway. So now I'm like, I'm a little bit more distant to the world and like, wow, it's really hard for me to connect with people now because I've seen all this shit and read all this shit and learned all these things. I'm like, you don't need to do it, but you sure can if you want. You're an adult. If you're not an adult, then I don't know why you're listening to this, but you know. But yeah, no, it's just what we can take from like looking at these things and like exposing ourselves to things we're uncomfortable with. I think we get a lot from it. You know,
definitely.
Yeah, and growth never comes from comfort. It just doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It never works that way. Like, in order for a muscle to grow in mass, it needs to tear first. So if you're not stretching, bro, you ain't getting nowhere. If you're living comfortably, you ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah.
If it's not hard, you ain't getting nowhere. I mean, you might just a little bit. You know, I'm not going to say that's an absolute for everything, but
sure.
You know, so
gotta put some work in.
So
yeah. I mean, we were talking about NFTs and everything, and then we went on to do philosophy, man.
Philosophy and death. Yes.
Oh, so elegant. I love
That's
it.
where you want to meet me in the. We'll play poker. I don't even know how to play poker, but I'm sure I'll learn before I die. But when I die, we got a poker game waiting for us.
Damn right.
Maybe we don't. Maybe there's no heaven, and we go right into another soul. Well, we are the same soul, but what if we go to another body and we just live another life and we don't even realize?
Then I'll see you again at a real poker table.
Yep. I might still have orange hair, but I might have purple skin because it might be 400 years in the future.
Very well could be.
That'd be kind of lit.
Maybe you're on another planet.
That'd be kind of tight. Oh, you know, poker on Mars?
That'd be sick.
That'd be kind of lit, bro. Be like, yeah, they terraformed it. I'd be like, damn, I remember back
in my old days.
Like, I had this dream last night that I was in this podcast studio in Iowa. And I'm like, oh, really? That's crazy.
Iowa's been exploded for years. I don't know.
Iowa? That's a long distance. What is that? Is that the ancient thing? And you're like, what? And like, what? Yeah, there's this little room and all this primitive technology. You know, you'd probably think this is primitive to us, but like, nah, it's pretty.
This is advanced.
it's pretty all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you know, that'd be kind of fun. But yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
By the way, what are you doing for school and stuff like that? By the way.
Well, I'm studying marketing.
Yeah.
And school's out right now.
Do your video stuff on the side then? That's all. Okay.
Yeah. So the real estate production is all on the side. That's what I'm doing to build my connection with other people and get into the space. And then that's the whole point that I started the real estate production company was I wanted to introduce myself to people. And typically you can't just use your name because your name holds no value to someone. So you have to utilize something else. So anytime I'd cold call someone or email someone, it would always just be, hey, my name is Jacob Odell. But I made sure to throw in Morningside University because Morningside's name holds more value than my name at the time.
Yep.
And then you follow that up with real estate photography, then that increases your name's value as well. And then it just trickles down and then you meet more people and so on and so forth.
I used to do that too. Back when like I would introduce myself like, yeah, I've done artwork for this, people, this, that. And I don't really tell people until they ask. Or until someone goes, tell me. But all right, I'll tell you. But like, I don't, it's kind of fun now. But like, I remember that when I used to have to be like, yeah, do you know Pooh Shiesty? Yeah, I submitted cover art for him. It didn't work though. It didn't work out though, but I still did it. So, you know what I mean?
It builds your reputation.
Builds your reputation, and it was just like I'm name dropping to give people a reason to give a shit about me.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And and that's what it takes. Until eventually now you get your own company and you can just be like, what up? This is me. Everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, I've seen all your stuff before. Like, you're good. And be like, I know. That's why you know my name. You know what I mean? It works that way.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And that's dope. Cause I was wondering where did you start?
Out here.
You're not marketing, but like your video production.
So, back home in LA, over the summer, I was a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did personal training, filmed content online, started up a business when I was 18 called Lift City. So it was all about lifting, doing workout programs, selling merchandise as well. So I got the business background from that. And then when I came out to Sioux City, small town Sioux City, not really knowing anybody, I came out here by myself. I knew 0 people. So I had to start fresh, which was nice. And that's exactly what I wanted because, like you were saying, nobody knows my past here. So I can be the writer of my own story and have nobody else manipulate it or spread rumors about it and everything, which is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And out here, I brought my camera and I realized, very fast that broke college kids can't pay for personal training.
Hell no.
So I totally chopped that off. I met with my business professor and I went on to Zillow to check out $1 million properties out here versus $1 million properties in LA. Ooh. And of course, we know how that goes. $1 million properties in Sioux City, there's probably about, I don't know, maybe 12, if that. And
in
even
LA,
then,
that's all of them.
Yeah. In LA, you're getting a 1.5 bed with a 1 bath and you're spending, $900 and up.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And I utilized my knowledge of being from Los Angeles and I've always been like more of an extrovert. So I've always been able to make connections, go out with people and establish conversations pretty simple and civilized. So I used that to my advantage. I spoke to my business professor, brought him the idea that I had my camera and I'd reach out, offer my services for free just to get my foot in the door in real estate and build up my portfolio, learned how to create a website, learned how to do pricing strategies, how to market and everything. And it's been amazing in the sense that the business has generated income, sure, but the business has generated connections worth more than the income. And that's what I was aiming for.
That's what's important when you're first starting. Some people, I'm glad you said that because it's really easy to get focused on the money and what you're not making. But on the side is what am I making? There's resources in so many different ways. Money is a resource. It is not a way of life. It is a resource. Think about it as a resource. But so are connections. So are like a tripod and stuff like that. That's a resource. These are things that can help us. Car, resource. And some of us don't have as much as others. So it's important to realize what's you need to be resourceful. It's not about your resources. Some people have got a lot of resources and they fail to be resourceful, and some are quite the opposite. Like, hey man, draw me a picture. I'll give you a blue Sharpie and a red pen and 1 piece of paper. What can you do? I'm like, okay, now it's time to get creative because I only have so much to use. And that's sometimes when the real creativity comes out. It's because I don't have a lot, but I need to do a lot with it. I'm glad you said that. And so is this Sioux City? Is this the second place that you lived? This is like
So I born and raised in LA for
what part
my
of LA?
entire life. The Valley.
Oh, the Valley.
Yeah, so right over the Santa Monica Mountains, and then in Encino, Northridge area, and then from there, when I came out here, was mainly for baseball. So I played baseball for Morningside, and then this is now where I stay and reside because, yay me.
It ain't bad if you haven't been here before. That's how I think about it. Like when I tell people I hate being here, it's because I've been here for 23 years.
Exactly.
I haven't been here for 23 years. I've been here for to my life 21 years. I have 23 of my years, but still, it's like I've seen everything there is to see. I've seen it every day. I know every single person, not every person, but a lot of freaking people here, and a lot of freaking people here know me, and I know a lot about everybody else, and I don't really care. I don't really want, it's just not my world. But if you don't know, if you come fresh and you haven't been here before, then it's just a new adventure. You know what I mean? It's there's more people, there's all these unknocked doors that you can go knock on. You know what I mean? It's all these new things you can go try. And I know it's not as big. It's so much smaller than LA. It's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. That's
we got a population of 85,000 and or 80,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's
out here, and that's my town.
Yep.
Back home.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's the perspective. It's you go from a place where there's millions of people around you. It takes 2.5 hours just to get out of the damn city. It takes
horrible, by the way.
Yeah. It takes that long to get out. It's expensive. Then you come here where there's nobody, again, people get freaked out about earrings and painted fingernails. If you're a man, they think you're gay or something. You're like, no, I'm just It's my body. I can do what I want.
Just
with
doing
it.
my thing, bro.
Just doing my thingy thing. Let me do my thingy thing, and you can do your thingy thing, and we can be thingy thinging all by ourselves. It's okay.
Maybe not use thingy thing.
Not thingy
in
thing.
that context.
But like it's that, you know, not it's kind of a culture shock, isn't it? Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, well, for one, the biggest takeaway that I've found out here, especially being in just the Midwest in general, is everybody's so much more kind.
That's what I hear,
bro. Yeah, from the very first interaction, is everybody's so much more kind. I mean, I can literally approach anybody and spark a conversation with them, and there'd be zero problem with them talking to me. I mean, of course, you're gonna get the some people that don't want to have a conversation with you, or they're not in a good mood or not having a good day. But 9 times out of 10, everybody that I've spoken to will give me their time of day.
Yeah, they'll
and
talk
that's
to you
amazing.
for a bit. Yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday because I did a 5-mile hike yesterday. I need to get my body ready for freaking hiking. I'm gonna go on a 30-mile hike over the course of like 3 days for like July 4th, right? So I need to get started. And Ponca, Nebraska, that's like where a lot of my family's from, and I grew up. I grew up on the river up north of that, whatever. And I was driving down the road yesterday, and like people wave at me, like when you pass cars and stuff like that. They like give you a little peace sign and stuff like that. And we've been doing that for years in that area. And like when you drive down that as Highway 12, I think you drive down Highway 12, and people are gonna like wave. They're gonna flick their finger up. Hello, I need your dirt road out there. If you pass somebody, hello. That's how everybody is.
Yeah.
Anywhere else you go,
nope.
Nobody does that shit.
No, it's a honk to
it's a fucking
to
honk
get going.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it's that. It's just like, it's crazy how I'm glad. That's why I love traveling so much.
Yeah,
it's because you get to see how different everything actually is. People, and I wish some people traveled more, especially here. The world is so much bigger than the small town in Iowa.
Like when I talk about LA, everybody's like locked into me. Eyes are glued to
me. They're like, what?
Yeah.
And me, like, I'm just like, I've been there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I know people there. I've been there. I've done my thing. And I can appreciate it for what it is. And then I've also been like, but I've been here, and here. And everywhere is so much more different. And it's just like, but that's the thing, like you just said, it's like, if that's the only thing other people have for frame of reference, and that's the thing they fixate on, because they don't know any more than that.
Yeah.
But when you've got more things to compare things to, they get a little less strange, and they get a less crazy. Like Matt, like I got friends that have been to other countries and stuff like that, and it used to be like, oh my god, you've been to another country, and now I'm like, okay, and which one was your favorite?
Yeah.
How's it traveling in this one? Like, is it cool getting around? Like, I talk about it like it's going to another city, because that's exactly what it is. It's actually not as crazy as you think. Like, and it's that perspective. Like I said, when it's like that's how Mars is going to be someday. That's how the moon's going to be someday. Everybody's going to be like, oh my god, dude, you've been to the moon, bro? And then 50 years later, be like, dog, everybody goes on the moon before they die. What are you fucking talking about? It's not that fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah. My grandparents are buried on the moon.
My grandparents are buried there, bro. Chill. But like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, and I think, like I said, it's really important, I think, people to get out of where they're from. For so many reasons. One, hey man, if you're from Sioux City, Iowa, listen, it's kind of pretty in like 2 spots. 2 spots. It's not very pretty though. The river, it's a nice spot, but you ever been to the desert? Have you ever been to the mountains? Have you been to the oceans? There's 2 on either side of us. Have you been to the Gulf? Have you been to Canada? Oh, you haven't? Go. Been to Minneapolis? Go. No? Cool. Go see all the places. Because also another thing I just said, guess what, guys? We all die. Do you want to die in the same place you're born?
Hell no.
No. Some of you do, and that's fine. If that's what you really want to do, then more power to you. Please make the place that you're born and raised better, though. But go check out other places. Like, go see how other people operate. You will go to those cities where you realize people aren't as kind as where you come from, and now you're gonna have that I think about that sometimes where I'm like, people think I'm super kind and laid back, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm an asshole. But like, that's just because of where I'm from. Like, people are like, we're just nicer, and like we're a little bit more patient, you know what I mean? And then you go to these bigger cities where there's millions of people stacked on top of each other, and everybody's like, bah, bah, bah. Like, you're like, how is it like this? But go see those things. You might wander off into some desert mountains and realize this is the place you're meant to be. and this is the place that you need to go. Or this is your new favorite place to visit. You don't need to move there, I guess, but maybe this is your new place to visit. And now you've got something that you can tell people about. Like, hey man, go. This is so beautiful out here. Like when I went to Arizona, when I went to Flagstaff. Well, I've driven through Flagstaff, I've never been there, but you'd be like, it's beautiful. But like, imagine you go have like a weekend out there and you love that so much, and now you can recommend that to people. Now you can tell people about that. You can be like, this is so beautiful. You should go check this place out. Like, I actually love being able to tell people, because I know about what the fuck I'm talking about. When they're like, hey, like I'm going to like Phoenix. I'm like, dope. I have all these. I have here. If you want to go to, if you like coffee shops, I got the coffee shops for you. If you like clubs, I know where the clubs are. I know where the good clubs are. Here's where you go. If you want bars, I know where some decent bars are. You want entertainment? Here, go here. Like here, there. Also, I can tell you a little bit about Houston, just a little bit. I can tell you a little bit about Miami. What I'm going to tell you about Miami is go find Cuban espresso. Go fucking find some Cuban espresso. That shit is liquid crack, bro. It's so good.
I never had it. I need to.
Bro, go. Like, that was so funny. We're going on a tangent real quick. When we were at Art Basel, when I tell you we went on that bender, we were in South Beach, and like we're all like, everybody's like, let's get some coffee, bro. It's like 7 a.m. Like it was like we were still up at like 5 a.m, and we're like, bro, what are we gonna do? And I was like, dude, the sunset's gonna be happening soon. Let's go to the beach and watch the sunset or sunrise. My bad. Yeah. Let's go watch the sunrise. It was so beautiful. I'm glad we did that on the beach. But we're tired. We're cooked, and I was like, guys, has anybody had Cuban espresso? Everybody's like, no. I was like, follow my lead. And like we're walking. There's like, and then someone looked up. They're like, do you even know where it's at? I'm like, no, I just know how to find it. And they're like, well, we looked up. There's a coffee shop around the corner. I think this is it. And I was like, that's not Cuban espresso. I'm telling you right now. We haven't even been there yet, and I already know it's not it. I was like, you're not gonna find this shit on a map. Freaking crazy. Listen to me. They go find this. They go to the spot, and we're about to walk in, and there's like $6 lattes or whatever. And I was like, this isn't it. I said, Goliath, you want to get some Cuban espresso? And he's like, yeah, bro. I was like, I think, because we walked by this thing, and I looked down. It's this little underground bodega, and I looked down there, and I looked through the window, and I was like, there's got to be Cuban espresso in there. That's the spot. I'm telling you. And then he goes, really? I was like, it's in there, guys. I'm telling you. They're like, no, it's not. I was like, whatever. Went to the spot, turned around, Goliath, we're going to the spot. Get in there. I was like, you have Cuban espresso here? She's like, yes. She hardly spoke English, so I knew I was in the right spot. I was like, give it to me. And then I said, Goliath, try this. And he goes, what? He's, oh my God. And I was like, that's right. Gamo, have some Cuban espresso. He's like, holy shit. And I was like, that's right. That's right. That's what I told you.
Don't underestimate Cade.
Don't underestimate me, man. If there's a chicken in the street, just know I know where I'm at. I know how to get around. I don't know how to find a freaking Cuban espresso wherever I'm at.
Damn right.
If you ever go to Key West, Florida, it's dope, but I recommend they also have Cuban espresso places there. So if you need coffee, don't go to a normal coffee shop. Again, get you some Cuban espresso. They give you this like cup, this little shot. They give you like a styrofoam cup full of it, and then they give you these little shot cups usually, where it's like you get about 6 shots worth of Cuban espresso, and you just take them. They're so good. And then also, if you're gonna go to Key West, another thing is don't get a car. Just go spend $35 for like a 24-hour moped, and just zip around the island. Don't need to bring your car because it's hard to get that car around. Traffic sucks. You can get between traffic with a freaking moped, man, and it's so fun. You can park it anywhere because it's a moped. What are they gonna do? Tow your moped? No, they're not. It's so much fun, but like it's stuff like that. Like I can just say that because I've been there and I've done it. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I have, so I can tell everybody to do it. And like I think that's kind of our duty. Everybody is to live so other people can live through you. You know what I mean? Like whenever you can. Like you could say that. Like I've got friends that'll never go the places that I have, or maybe they do, but I can give them the opportunity to be interested into doing those things because I've done it and I've told them about it and I encourage them to do that. But now think about like our grandparents. Like we may have family members that so you're in the Midwest. A lot of people have come from farmers here. Like a lot of my family were farmers and stuff like that, and some of them have never really gone anywhere, right? But imagine all the stories I get to tell them because of all the places that I get to go. Because you've probably heard this, like I said, when we've got friends that go to different countries and stuff like that, or people who have lived in different countries for most of their life, we're fascinated. and we're fascinated, and they can tell you all the stories, and your mind is lit up with the stories they're telling you. Like you're living through them, and that's something that we can give to people. Is not only our experiences great for ourselves, you know, to like live, you know, our memories and good stuff like that, but again, it gives other people the opportunity to live through us as if they weren't able to, which is a beautiful thing. And then also like doing all these different things and going all these different places really tempers your soul. Like I don't think people, it's underplayed how good traveling is for the soul, like, and how much I think it opens you as a person. Like I said, like people can get judgmental and stuff here, or people can do this here. I'm like, you just haven't been out, bro. Like, and you kind of come from a place of like you're patient because like you just don't know, like you just don't know the beauty that there is outside of you. Like there's just so much waiting for you. I can't wait for you to see it. And I want you to see it. Like I want you to see it so bad. I'm so excited for you to see it. And like people don't realize that, you know what I mean? Like there's just, and then we get to tell them about it. Like you could be like, wow, LA. You'd be like, and you're probably like the way someone would talk about like some from some small farm town, like you live in Sioux City. You're like, yeah, I do live in Sioux City. It's kind of ass. They're like, oh, I've lived in a town of like 40 people, bro. That's crazy. I'd be like, well, you know, it's all right. But then I talk to you and you're like, I'm from LA. I'd be like, wow, LA? You're like, yeah, LA. It's overcrowded. Traffic sucks.
It's cool to visit.
People shit on the street still. I'd be like,
yeah, I love seeing needles everywhere.
Freaking needles. Might step on one, die by accident.
Hey, everybody's gonna die.
Does that happen? I wonder if it happens. People step on a freaking like a needle just by accident because they're walking down. Like
I think that happens more in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah, San Francisco's way worse homeless population than LA.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, so they actually did a whole like renovation of Venice. So have you been to Venice Beach? Okay. So Venice Beach had a huge...
Have I? Yes, I have, but not the actual beach though.
Okay.
I've been in like the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Venice was one of LA's biggest homeless populations, like in like LA area and nearby areas. So the businesses that were on like the city walk part were threatening to leave, and you know they were just gonna take the loss of their business in Venice because homeless people were squatting outside the restaurants, their businesses, and you know that of course deters clients.
Absolutely.
And so when the businesses threatened to leave, the businesses threatened to leave, the city actually took action and literally went through and just kind of like swept the homeless people away and like put them on buses and said go somewhere else, which I don't understand how they just did that. Like I don't know the logistics or anything. But yeah, like Venice Beach was horrible to go to, and now it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But in the sense of like homeless people and everything of that sort, it's like you also want to know what happened in people's lives. Like, how did you end up in that situation?
Yeah, and that's an interesting question because I think the more you think about that, the more the realize it's like a very complex, moving, comp thing. Yeah. And it's not as simple as some people would think. Like some people, I think it comes down to it that it's a choice. A lot of times.
A lot of people like to be homeless.
I believe that it's a choice for the most part. Some people have mental illness and they just don't have enough money to pay for their meds and they're just going to be insane on the streets and that's their thing and that's their life. That's all they're ever going to know. That's sad. That is sad. But other people like to be homeless. Also, I don't feel like it's that bad to be homeless in Los Angeles. Now, being homeless in like Sioux City, Iowa is probably ass because it's probably not that bad for a lot of the years, but it gets cold as shit. It gets really cold. Yeah. So imagine being homeless when it's like negative 35 with wind chill.
That's also why there's not a lot of homeless people out here too.
Exactly, because it freezes them over. I'm kidding. That shouldn't have said that. Somebody did die in Omaha. The homeless people have been a little bit crazy in Omaha lately. Yeah, some guy got stabbed. Some guy stabbed some guy like a bunch of times. He's a homeless guy on this very busy corner, and then he just committed seppuku on himself. And if you don't know what seppuku is, it's like the samurai tradition of disemboweling yourself for honor. So imagine you've done something dishonorable. That's how you gain your honor back, is by killing yourself, by disemboweling yourself. Yeah, somebody did that. I don't know what type of samurai shit these homeless people are on in Omaha, but yeehaw. But anyway, as far
yeah,
hey, but no, it's like it's one of those things. It's just like Is that like I don't know how people could get to that point, but they do. And again, if I'm gonna be homeless, Los Angeles is a great place to be homeless. It's the temperature doesn't really fucking change. It's like 60 to like 90, and you're like, shit's beautiful. Like, and I've thought about it, I was like, there's a couple of homeless people in Phoenix. I'm just like, that's gotta be rough, bro, because it's hot.
104
every day. No, it's like that's like a day on the beach, bro. Like that's easy. It gets like 120 for like a month straight, bro. And that's like you'll be driving on the road and people are just standing under a tree because that's where the shade's at, and then it's just fucking like oven everywhere else. You see like the heat raising, like dead ass people, and even the birds. Like you'll see all the birds just all collected under the shade on the ground. All their mouths are open. By the way, if you don't know, birds don't sweat, but the way that they cool off is they open their mouths. So if you ever see a bird with his mouth open, that means he's hot. He's not chirping. His mouth's just.
Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day, everybody. Birds don't sweat. They leave their mouths open. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy because it's like, and then everybody lives under the bridge. You know what I mean? And that's because that's the only spot with a lot of shade that you can really access. Like you can't, it's hard to like, where's the shade on the sidewalk? There isn't.
Yeah.
Find a tree. And that shit changes with the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So LA, I get it. It's kind of one of those things like why that's also why there's that many people that live there, is because it is that beautiful of a place to live. Like it's gorgeous weather. You don't really have a lot to worry about. Sun's always shining. Everything's there. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun place to be. You know what I mean? If you know what you're doing, it's a fun place. And again, if I'm gonna be homeless, fuck it. I mean, I'll beg my ass off. I'll get as much money as I can so I can scoot my ass over to LA and be a bum. But like, here's why I think it's a choice though, because I know how easy it is to not have to live that way. Like, unless you're like, I think you're, for some people, and I can't, this again, I'm not gonna put an umbrella over everybody and say this is how it is for everybody, but unless you're like, your self-awareness is so low to the point where you don't realize what you're doing and putting yourself into a financial hole, like going into a crap ton of debt. I'm not talking about school loans. I'm talking about like other shit, like doing things you cannot afford and stuff like that. Like live within your means, man. If you can't and you're just throwing stuff and you're putting yourself under the bus, like, why are you doing that? But like you should know. But some people, even when you do find yourself in those situations, just know that like you can find your way out. It doesn't need to be like, you don't need to be a billionaire. You don't need to be a millionaire. Like everybody thinks you need to be super successful, super rich to be. No, like having like a $38,000 to $40,000 job a year, again, in like Iowa is pretty decent, but having that here, that's not bad. And that's a pretty decent life. You know what I mean? That ain't freaking bad, you know? And that's not a hard one. Like what's so bad about working full time at a fucking restaurant? Really, if it's getting you paid and getting you a paycheck, go do it. It's not hard. Like it isn't. Like that's why, again, I think it's a choice, because it's I think just to live at the very bare ass minimum that's outside of being homeless, I think it's not that fucking hard. Like, you know what I mean? It's just gonna take a little bit of work, and which again, if people listening to this, like some people, like when you say that type of stuff, like it's not that hard. People are like, you don't know what they go. It's not that hard. It is and it isn't. Like the amount of work that you have to put in to just to sustain that is less work than trying to stay alive without any of that. Like imagine how much work it takes just to be alive. Like how are you gonna go find food? And you're homeless. Okay, do you have to go search through dumpsters? That sounds kind of hard. That sounds gross. That sounds lame. Like you might get cut by accident, like by shit that's in there. You might eat something that you shouldn't be eating because you weren't there when someone was throwing it away for this very particular reason. You know what I mean? You might have like 4 dozen donuts that someone threw out at the end of the day because, hey, we can't sell them anymore. Not that they're inedible, but it's just because we make fresh every single day. So like we got to throw these away. Okay, you can go eat those donuts. Those are pretty good donuts. Imagine someone threw a steak away that's been expired for a couple of days, and it's been sitting in the fucking shit for so long. It's been sitting in that hot dumpster for a long time, and you're eating it. That's hard.
The dumpster cooked it, man.
Yeah, it probably did.
Probably. If you're in
did.
Arizona,
the
dumpster cooked it.
Probably. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah, honestly, because To cook a steak, the steak needs to be 135 degrees interior, like for the most part. And if you can get it, is it 135? I think it's 135, 145. Whatever, we'll find out. It's fine. If it's a little bit rare, you're all right. Yeah. But yeah, if the internal temperature of the steak can get to like 135 degrees, like it's cooked. So it's like, and I know that the dumpsters in Phoenix probably get hotter than that. It's dark. If it's painted black, it's got a black top on it. It's closed and it's 120 degrees out. That shit is cooking. Yeah. Dude, yeah, people cook eggs on the freaking, like the...
I've seen that.
Yeah, bro, that shit's real. And you're supposed to like, that's why I don't want a dog. Like, I have a cat, but my friend, like, he has to walk his dog, especially when it gets really hot. He has to put little mittens on him.
Yep.
So it doesn't burn his feet when he walks in there. He walks like a little goon. His like head. He's like yeah. He's like, I'm like, they're just socks, bro. How do you not know how to use them? Like, it's like, how do you guys not know how to walk? It's kind of funny. Cats do the same shit. But yeah, no, it's LA and Sioux City are quite different places. Obviously, like you couldn't compare them. It's just something you can't do because the size difference and everything is completely different.
Yeah. Like, different cultures, different people, different area.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I like it out here.
Do you like it because it's quieter?
I like it because it was a change for me and it was an opportunity that presented itself. And, you don't get a lot of big opportunities in life. Mm-hmm. And so I saw this as a big opportunity. And the plan was to get out of LA, and my strategy and my philosophy has always been be a big fish in a small pond.
Yep.
And then you can always jump over, once you are a big fish, into a bigger pond.
Yep.
And so that's where my strategy, that's where my philosophy has always been. And that's what I plan to keep doing.
That's literally exactly how I felt for a long time.
Yeah.
Like once I found that I was like the top, like I'm going to claim it right now. I am the biggest fish in the city right now. Let's go. And I'm not saying that because I have an ego the size of an elephant. That's not what it is. It's just I'm being real. And for what my trajectory is, like this pond will never be big enough for the size that I will become. But with that in mind, it's like I've thought about that. Like you never want to be the biggest fish, but the thing is like when I go to another pond, it's like I can eat and get up. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you start big and then you go to hot pond to pond to pond to pond to pond to pond. Now you're in the ocean. Because you know what I mean. That's the one thing that can hold you now. Which some people, that's L.A.
Swimming with the sharks, baby.
Swim with the sharks. I'm this giant whale shark that'll eat them all whole. Get out of here. I don't even eat fish, but I'm gonna do it to you because you're in my way. I'm kidding. Yep. But like, it's really cool to do that. To see it that way because it's like I think it's important too because it's just like you're just recognizing the growth that you have and realizing that like they say like a fish can only grow as big as a shark can only grow as big as a tank it can swim in. So if the tank is small, you're going to be a small little shark. Just know there's some big-ass tanks out there with some way bigger sharks in there because they're bigger tanks. And that's how I see these big cities that I go to. Like, I dead-ass think, like, when I go to, like, it's crazy to me to think this way, and I've always kind of thought this way, but, like, I go to Phoenix, I'm like, I can be the biggest one here. I know I can. And I already know, like, I'm already, like, the size of the fish that I was when I left this pond is still bigger than half the fish, if not more, than the next pond that I go to. So that just means my competition to get to the top is a lot less than I think it is. And it's really, I just got to be able to put hard work, be intentional, be a good person, put myself in the right positions, and, do all that good stuff. And I will get there within time. It's inevitable. And then when I'm the biggest fish here, I can go to another pond. And now I'm this fish that has wings. So now I'm the biggest fish out of all the ponds because I can go, oh, there's a fish over here. I'm going to go show him who's boss. Or you could be like, and I think it's fun because then like when you get to that place, like you get yourself into some sort of like you can find yourself into some gatekeeping positions. And if you're in a gatekeeping position, don't gatekeep. You have to gatekeep just a little bit. People I think put negative connotations on gatekeeping, but there's kind of a reason for it to an extent. Some of it's disgusting. If it's monetarily, then gross. But if it's like quality control, it's fine. But imagine you find yourself, that's why I wanted to tie that back. Someone I would consider you could put them under the umbrella of a gatekeeper would be, again, I'm going to tie back for Helio Tazaj, the art director at Atlantic Records. He doesn't do every single cover that they handle, but what his job is to find, they have a task, they have something that needs to be made, and he's the one who's responsible to figure out how that is executed and who's doing the execution and who's doing all the stuff. Who's doing the photo shoots, who's doing the music videos. Who's doing the cover art? Is the cover art, am I going to do it, or am I going to have someone illustrate it, or am I going to have someone take a photo and we're going to do a photo shoot? That's his job. So for him, it's important for him, and he's at the top of the game, the very top. Billions of people have seen his work. He's very awesome, super cool dude. But for him to be at the top like that, he's a big fish, right? And then he allows somebody like me to come up. He didn't just endow just me or anything like that. Like I am his like Padawan and I am his training. No, it's like, hey man, I see something in you and I want to see that come out. That's a gatekeeper. You don't let everybody through the fucking gate. Otherwise, it's not a gate. You know what I mean? And it's like not everybody can get to these places, so it's important. But you need to realize the power that you do have when you're in these positions, and that's the power that I'm realizing I'm starting to wield. At some point, I'm getting to that point where eventually, when I am an art director, because I want to be an art director someday, that would be so fun, especially for record label, because I love music that much. That's why I do it. But I just remember how big it was when something so small for him changed my life in such a big way. For him, finding an artist for a project is probably just, it's another day to him. He just says, I need to find someone that's pretty good at what they do and have them hop on and see how they do and hope it works out. It's another day in the books for him. But again, to me, that was a once in a lifetime opportunity that he gave to me. And when you see the perspective shift on that, I'm going to be in a place one day where it's another day for me. It's such a small little thing for me because I know all these fucking people and I will know all these people. And it's like that I'm going to be like, hey, I need some guy that can just do this because I don't have time to do it. And I need somebody like I'll be offsetting artwork for other people to do, right? The opportunity, again, it'll be a small day for me, but I'll be able to change people's lives with that. And that's something I look forward to doing. And I think I kind of want to make a slight bit of a joke out of it. Like I kind of want to be, watch me change this kid's life real quick. He's like 19 and has no idea what the hell's going on. Hey man, you're a pretty good artist. Would you like to work on some cover art for like Wiz Khalifa or something like that? And we're going to change names. Who would be like super sick nowadays? I would say, he's in jail. Astro rolled, that wasn't good. We'll just say Travis Scott. So imagine you go, some 18-year-old kid that just graduated high school, but little did you know this kid's been working his ass off for the last 4 years of his life since he's 14 years old doing digital art, and he's getting pretty good at what he does. He's a pretty competent designer. He's nowhere near the professional level on a consistency level, but he can do good work when the time comes. Hey man, do you listen to Travis Scott? Yeah. Well, I'm the art director at this label, and he's got a song dropping in 2 weeks. So this is a lot to ask from you. But do you think you can do this cover art? We got the direction, everything for it. That kid's going to shit his pants. The kid's going to jump around his room. He's going to mute the phone. He's going to go, Mom, look what I got. Look what I get to work on. That's such a big moment that you can cultivate for another human. That is such a big fucking moment. And like I said, that's like what happens when you become a big fish. Like the waves that you make are small to you, but they're big for everybody else. And that's what I love. And that's what I can't wait. And that's one of my goals. Did you ever watch the Donda documentary?
I saw like the first half of it.
Okay. Finish it.
Okay.
It's 3 pieces, bro. Finish it. But did you get to the part where Donda says, like, she goes, everybody sees she goes, you look in the mirror and you see yourself and everybody else sees a giant.
No, I didn't get to that.
Okay. She says that, and it's so amazing. But do you understand what that means?
Yeah,
and she goes, think about a giant is he can have his head in the clouds and his feet are still on the ground.
Damn.
Go watch the documentary. It's great. But it's things like that that changes perspectives. Like some people think that like being I love that we're talking about the big fish stuff like that. Like it's a great thing to want to be, and I'm glad. And it's such a cool position to be in, but I think you need to be in it in the right reasons. Some people are like, I'm a big fish. I'm going to eat everything, and I'm going to keep eating. I'm going to eat everything because I can eat everything. Fuck that small fish right there who thinks he can eat that thing over there. I'm going to eat him after he eats that, so he's not going to know. No, don't be that way. Be a giver. Be a giver. Like I said, like I think especially someone like me, I'm finding myself in a position of also being like a pathfinder. Like, as in, like, I don't really know where I'm at right now, and I don't really know where I'm headed. I kind of have an idea, and I know where I want to go, but, like, do I know how to get there? No. But when I find out, like I said, I'm going to tell people how I did it, and I'm going to help if people need help. If they have a question for me, like, I will do my best to answer it to help give them the clarity that they need to make their next step. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to help people make those positions because, and the reason I know that I can do that, and I know that it's not going to hurt me to do that, is because there's so much to go around for everybody. Like, if I go to a feast, so if I thought, you know, we're going to bring like Skyrim into this, right? Or Valhalla. So when you die in Valhalla, apparently you're supposed to go like this great hall with like Odin and all the gods and all the warriors, and there's this big long table with all the food that you could ever eat. That's how this world is. There's so much for everybody. There's going to be a lot for me. I hit the mic with my nose. Oops. There's going to be so much for me, but there's not only going to be so much for me. There's going to be so much for everybody else. There's not, just because someone else gets a lot doesn't mean it's going to take away from me at all. And you'll learn that. Some people don't realize that right away, but you'll learn that when you realize that, like especially like the cover art industry, for instance, this is such a small little microscope for it. But like, I could say that, like, imagine I have these other friends that do cover art and they're doing all these big name cover art for all these other people. I'm like, oh my God, he's taking those covers for me. No, I'm already doing my own covers right now. And also, there's just not enough time in the day for me to be able to do all this. Of course, there needs to be other people to do this. How could this be possible with just one person? Those people can do those. That's fine. Those people can make the, like, for you, like, you realize there's marketing companies, like video marketing companies for real estate. Like you can't be the only one. You can be the best though. You can be the most successful, but you're not going to be able to take all that. Remember all that low level stuff that you're past, that you've grown past, that your business, like you're probably going to move into like multi-million, billion-dollar like development companies that are nationwide, and you'll be doing stuff for them, doing large contracts for them, and eventually you'll be a, like, instead of you doing the stuff, you're going to be the guy running it, and you're going to be the guy hiring the people doing what you do. So and you become more of a manager. Like, when you realize that that's like this like people move like that, and that there's just so many things going around, you realize it's like it's almost stupid if I don't share these things, because it's not going to hurt me. It couldn't hurt me. It really couldn't. And if it does, grow up. Like, I think once you realize, like, to get, again, to be in at these levels, you need to realize that, like, if something does go wrong, fix it. And that's also a good thing. When things go wrong, it's a good thing. It told you where flaws were. And you'll be able to figure it out, and you'll be able to improve, and you'll be able to get better. You wouldn't have that. And when you realize, like, failure is just another part of the fucking game, bro. Like, I don't even think, like, that word gets thrown around so much now. Failure. Learn to love to fail, learn to fail. I mean, that's true. It's annoying to hear all the time, but, like, you know, it's not even that anymore. It's mistakes, bro. Failures, I wouldn't say failures, like, failure. Failure is such a defining, like, you failed. Okay, I made a mistake.
You learn. And, like, and that's it. So if you think be a person of giving nature, wherever you find yourself at. Whether, again, it's as simple as somebody needs a fucking quarter, give them a quarter. If you need to go open the door for somebody, open the door for somebody. Please be doing that, everybody. Chivalry is not dead. It only lives within those who practice it. So bring that shit back. All you women's out there, I know you can open your door yourself. I'm just going to do it for you anyway, because you don't need to do it. Such a gentleman.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, do that. Give when you can. Open doors when you can. If you find yourself in a great opportunity to open a door for someone and change their life, fucking do it. Do those things, because it goes a long way. And also, like, it's one of those things, like, not only is it doing good, but you're also an example to people of what's possible. And, like, again, some people have these, like, evil depictions of all these people in high places and stuff like that because of all the bad that they've done. It's like, you can be the person to change those things. You can be the person to change the paradigm. It just takes a couple years of action, which some of you, when I think about that, like, when people say it takes a couple years to do this, I always freak out, because I'm like, years? I'm like, dude, life is years, bro. Like, just live that way. It'll happen over time. It just happens with time. You don't need to actively think about it all the fucking time. Just do it, live your life, keep going. And then by the time you turn around, you'll realize a couple of years have passed and you're a lot farther. Like I am now. Like, that's how I am now. I'm like, wow, I can't believe how far I've gotten. But then I'm like, those years that I used to think about a couple of years ago have passed. You know, they have. And the years that I think about now, they will pass. And I will get to those places, and all the hard work and all the crap I have to go through to get to those places, it will be done, and I will get through it. But it'll be great, and that time will pass. It's that patience I think we need and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
We're running pretty long here, aren't we?
We are.
How long are we? Can you tell?
We are just about to hit 2 hours.
2 of them?
2 hours, man. Yeah, but we can definitely wrap this up though. Mm-hmm. And
I get coffee in my life.
Yeah. I need some too. But yeah, you're speaking facts on everything, and whether it's any of your business ventures that you got going on with cover art, NFTs, great things happening there, and just the people, the connections that you've met, and all the aspects of your life have been leading to moments like right now. Mm-hmm. And us meeting, us having conversation that's going to benefit your life, and it's going to benefit my life and everybody else who's listening and watching. And so I appreciate, your time, and
I appreciate that, man.
Literally just coming here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And then to everybody listening, I hope a lot of you guys are listening. That'd be so cool, for both of us. I've never done a podcast before, so thank you again for bringing me on my first podcast. Of course. It's so fun. I love talking. I think everybody knows that. But yeah, man, I think this is an awesome opportunity you've given me, and I'm glad to have met you. I'm glad, Kelsey introduced you to me, and Taylor and all them. So it's really cool. So.
Yeah. And where can people reach out to you?
Ooh, got the question. All right, everybody. So on all of my social media, it is super simple. It is Pale in Red. PALEINRED. Pale because I am pale. And I'm a redhead, so I'm in red. Let's go. A little cryptic, a little weird, but you can find me on Instagram, anywhere. That's where I post all my artwork. So if you feel like, keeping track with me on there, that's the best way to do it. And I work with a lot of different types of people, so you'll probably find other people doing things if you keep up with me. So I got other artists, other musicians, other this, that, and the other. I try to work with a lot of people, so through me, you should be able to discover a lot more people. So reach out. Also, if anybody has any questions or anything like that listening to this, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them.
He loves to talk.
Woo!
And he will answer every question that he has to the best of his knowledge, because that's what he does.
That's right.
And dude, you're pretty dope, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, you're
I
dope.
appreciate that.
and I love the style out here too. Like, dude, fuck what other people think of you. Like, literally, that's like the biggest advice that I can give anybody.
Yes,
and
sir.
I love that you live by it, because you can tell just by like your smile, your charisma, your attitude, your clothing, dude. Like you can just tell. Like, who cares?
I walk into the coffee shop with like short shorts on.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, Jesus, and I'm like, they are a little short, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
who cares, man? So I appreciate you, Cade. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. And this is the Business Playground. Tune it off. Thank you.